The real reasons you don't feel safe in this relationship. Nothing clearly dangerous is happening, but you don't feel safe. That's the part that confuses you the most. There is no obvious reason to justify how you feel. No major event you can point to. No clear moment where everything went wrong. And yet, something inside you stays alert. You hesitate before speaking. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you are already thinking about how it will be received. You replay conversations in your head, adjusting your words after they've already been said. You feel a subtle tension in moments that should feel natural. And instead of feeling relaxed in the relationship, you feel careful. That quiet feeling changes everything, because it's not just discomfort. It starts affecting how you show up. You become more aware of yourself, but in a restrictive way. You monitor your tone, your reactions, your needs. You hold back parts of you that once felt easy to express, and without realizing it, you start feeling like you can't fully be yourself. This is where people get stuck, because nothing looks serious enough to justify leaving. So you question yourself, maybe it's just stress, maybe you're overthinking, maybe this is normal, but it's not. Emotional safety is not about big events. It's built or broken in small, repeated moments. In how you are received, in how you feel after interactions, in whether you can exist without tension. And when that safety is missing, your mind and your body start reacting, even if you can't fully explain why. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why you feel this way and what it's slowly doing to you. Feeling safe in a relationship is not what most people think it is. It is not just about comfort. It is not just about getting along. It is not about avoiding conflict or having good moments that make everything seem fine. Safety is something deeper. It is the ability to exist as you are, without tension. It means you can express what you feel without hesitation. You can say something honest without first calculating how it will land. You can have a reaction without immediately questioning if you should have reacted that way. It is not about perfection. It is about permission. Permission to be yourself without feeling like that comes with a cost. And this is where the confusion begins. Because you might feel comfortable sometimes. You might laugh, connect, share moments that feel real. But comfort is not the same as safety. Comfort can exist even when you are adapting. Safety cannot. If you find yourself constantly adjusting how you speak, how you act, how you respond, then something important is missing. Not in a dramatic way, but in a consistent, subtle way that affects you over time. You are not relaxing into the relationship. You are managing yourself inside it, and your body feels that difference. Even if your mind tries to explain it away, your nervous system responds to what is actually happening. The tension, the anticipation, the need to stay aware. That is not random. That is your system telling you something is not stable. So understand this clearly. If you have to constantly adjust yourself to maintain the connection, you are not safe. You are adapting. An adaptation, when it replaces authenticity, slowly disconnects you from who you are. One of the main reasons you don't feel safe is because you never really know what version of them you're going to get. Some days, they feel present, open, attentive. You feel seen, maybe even valued. And in those moments, everything seems fine. You tell yourself this is what the relationship really is. But then something shifts. Their tone changes. Their energy feels distant. They respond differently or not at all. And there is no clear explanation for it. No pattern you can rely on. Just a sudden change that leaves you trying to understand what happened. So you start paying attention. You analyze how they speak. You notice how long they take to reply. You read into small details, trying to find consistency in something that keeps changing. Because your brain needs patterns. When behavior is predictable, your mind relaxes. It knows what to expect. It feels grounded. But when patterns are inconsistent, your system does the opposite. It stays alert. You begin to anticipate shifts before they even happen. You walk into conversations already preparing yourself for different outcomes. You hold back, not because you want to, but because you're unsure of what reaction you might trigger. This creates a constant internal tension. You are not just interacting with them, you are adjusting to uncertainty. And over time, this becomes exhausting. Not because of one specific moment, but because your system never fully settles. There is always a part of you that stays ready, scanning for changes, trying to stay one step ahead of something you cannot control. This is what unpredictability does. It doesn't just confuse you, it removes your sense of stability. And without stability, there is no safety. Another reason you don't feel safe is more subtle, but just as powerful. Your feelings are not fully received. You try to express something that matters to you, not in an extreme way, not to create conflict, just to be honest about how you feel. But instead of being met with understanding, something else happens. It gets minimized, redirected, misinterpreted. You explain yourself, and somehow end up feeling like you need to explain it again. So you adjust. You start choosing your words more carefully. You simplify what you feel. You remove parts of your experience to make it easier to understand, easier to accept. But even then, it doesn't fully land. And after repeating this pattern enough times, something inside you shifts. You stop expecting to be understood, not consciously, but gradually. You bring things up less. You hold things in longer. You decide it's not worth the effort of trying to explain something that doesn't seem to reach the other side in the way you need it to. So you stay quiet. And that silence changes the dynamic completely. Because safety is not just about being heard, it's about being received. It's about feeling like your emotions can exist in that space without being dismissed or reshaped into something smaller. When that doesn't happen, you begin to disconnect from your own expression. You start thinking, maybe it's not that important. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I should just let it go. But what you're really doing is lowering your own voice. Let this land. You didn't stop expressing. You stopped expecting to be understood. And when that expectation disappears, so does a fundamental part of emotional safety. Another reason you don't feel safe is something you may not even notice at first. You're always managing their reaction. Before you say something, there is a pause. Not because you need to think about what you feel, but because you are thinking about how they might respond. You adjust your tone, soften your words, remove anything that could create tension. You are not just communicating, you are calculating. And that changes everything, because your focus is no longer on expressing what is true for you. It shifts to controlling the outcome, avoiding discomfort, keeping the interaction smooth. At first, it feels like you're being thoughtful, considerate, emotionally aware. But over time, it becomes something else. You start carrying a weight that is not yours. You feel responsible for how they react. If something goes wrong, you replay what you said, wondering what you could have done differently. You try to prevent reactions instead of simply responding to them, and this creates internal pressure. You are no longer free to just be in the moment. There is always a layer of awareness, a need to manage, a constant adjustment happening in the background. This is where safety disappears. Because safety means you can express without fear of what it might trigger. It means you don't have to filter yourself to maintain stability. But when you're always managing their reaction, you lose that freedom. You become careful instead of authentic. And the more you do that, the more you disconnect from your natural way of being. Let this be clear. When you carry emotional responsibility that doesn't belong to you, your system never relaxes. It stays alert. And that constant alertness is the opposite of feeling safe. If you're recognizing yourself in this, stop for a second and pay attention to what that means. Because this is not just a coincidence. These are not isolated moments. This is a pattern that has been shaping how you feel, how you think, and how you show up in this relationship. And most people don't go beyond this point. They feel the discomfort, they notice the tension, but they never fully connect the dots. They keep trying to adjust, to be more understanding, to make things work without realizing what it's costing them. But what comes next is where it gets deeper. Because the next reasons are not just about how the relationship feels, they are about what it's slowly doing to you. Stay with me. Even in the moments that look fine, you can't fully relax. Nothing is happening. No tension, no conflict, no clear problem. And yet, your body does not settle. There is a subtle alertness that stays in the background. You find yourself waiting. Not consciously, but internally. Waiting for something to shift, for the mood to change, for a reaction you can't predict. Even when things feel good, a part of you is preparing for what might come next. That is not peace. That is anticipation. And anticipation, when it comes from uncertainty, keeps your system activated. You might try to convince yourself everything is okay. You might focus on the good moment, tell yourself this is what matters. This is what you should hold on to. But your body is responding to something deeper than that. It's responding to the pattern, to the inconsistency, the tension, the unpredictability that has been repeated enough times for your system to recognize it, even when your mind tries to ignore it. So instead of fully enjoying the moment, part of you stays guarded. You don't fully open. You don't fully relax. You stay slightly pulled back, just in case. And that just in case becomes your normal. This is one of the clearest signs that something is not safe. Because safety is not just about what happens when things go wrong. It's about your ability to feel at ease when nothing is wrong. Let this land. Your body knows what your mind is still trying to justify. And when your body cannot relax, it is responding to something real. Even if you are still trying to explain it away. At some point, your needs started to feel like a problem. Not because they are, but because of how they've been received. You feel something simple. You want reassurance, clarity, presence. Nothing excessive, nothing unreasonable. Just something that would normally feel natural to ask for, but before you even say it, something stops you. A thought appears. Maybe it's too much. Maybe I shouldn't bring this up. Maybe I'm overreacting. So instead of expressing the need, you question it. And over time, that becomes your default. You start filtering what you feel. You reduce your expectations. You try to handle things on your own, even when part of you wants to be met, supported, understood. Not because your needs disappeared, but because you learned they are not easily received. So you adapt again. You become easier to deal with, less demanding, more self-contained. But there is a cost to that. Because every time you silence a need, you create distance between you and yourself. You start labeling your own feelings as too much, too sensitive, too emotional, too complicated. And once that belief settles in, it changes how you see yourself. You stop trusting what you feel. You stop honoring what you need. Let this be clear. You didn't become needy. You were made to feel like your needs were inconvenient. And when your needs feel like a problem, you stop bringing them into the relationship. But the moment you stop expressing what you need, you also stop feeling safe enough to be fully yourself. There is something even deeper happening. You are starting to lose trust in yourself. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly, through small moments where you question what you feel, where you hesitate to believe your own perception, where you look outside of yourself for confirmation before trusting what is already clear inside you. You notice something feels off, but instead of trusting that feeling, you pause. You analyze it. You ask yourself if you are overreacting, if you misunderstood, if you should have handled it differently. And the more you do this, the more you disconnect from your own internal signals. You stop seeing your emotions as information. You start seeing them as something that needs to be corrected. This creates a constant internal doubt. You feel something and immediately question it. You sense something and look for reasons to dismiss it. And over time, that becomes your reality. You are no longer grounded in what you feel. You are negotiating with it. This is where safety breaks at the deepest level. Because even if everything around you changed, if you don't trust yourself, nothing will feel stable. You will keep searching for certainty outside because you no longer rely on what is happening inside. Let this sink in. The most dangerous part is not losing them. It's losing trust in yourself. Because once that trust is gone, you don't just feel unsafe in the relationship, you feel unsafe within your own perception. And that is what keeps you stuck longer than anything else. Now, here's what most people never stop to consider. Not just why they don't feel safe, but what happens when they stay in that place for too long. Because at first, it feels manageable. You adjust a little. You stay quiet in certain moments. You tell yourself it's not that serious, that you can handle it, that it will get better with time. But safety is not something you can ignore without consequences. When you stay in a space where you don't feel safe, even subtly, something inside you starts to change. Not suddenly, not in a way that is easy to notice, but gradually. And that change doesn't stay in the relationship. It starts affecting you, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you see yourself. This is the part most people realize too late. So before you try to understand what to do next, you need to see clearly what this is doing to you. Because once you see that, you won't be able to ignore it anymore. When you stay too long in a place where you don't feel safe, you don't just feel uncomfortable. You start changing. Not in a way you consciously choose, but in a way that slowly reshapes how you exist. You begin shrinking your personality. You hold back more. You speak less. You avoid expressing parts of yourself that once felt natural. Not because they disappeared, but because you learned they create tension. So, you reduce yourself to maintain stability. At the same time, you start disconnecting from your own emotions. You feel something, but you don't fully engage with it. You push it aside, minimize it, delay it. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later, but later rarely comes. And the more you do that, the less connected you feel to what is actually happening inside you. Then something even more subtle happens. You start normalizing discomfort. What once felt off becomes something you accept. The tension, the hesitation, the emotional distance. It no longer stands out the same way. It becomes part of the dynamic. And that is where the real shift happens. Because when discomfort becomes normal, you stop questioning it. You adapt to it. And the more you adapt, the further you move away from who you naturally are. Let this be clear. You don't just feel unsafe. You slowly stop being yourself. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it becomes to recognize what feeling safe actually looks like. You've been trying to adjust yourself to feel safe, thinking that if you said things differently, reacted differently, needed less, expected less, something would finally settle. But now you see it clearly. Safety is not something you create by shrinking yourself. It's something you feel when you don't have to. You are not asking for too much. You are asking for something essential, the ability to exist without tension, to express without fear, to feel without questioning yourself. And when that is missing, no amount of adaptation will fix it. It will only take you further away from who you are. So this is where everything shifts. You stop trying to earn safety. You start recognizing where it exists and where it doesn't. You stop proving your feelings. You start trusting them, because your feelings were never the problem.